Hello, beautiful souls. The light in me honors the light in you. I'm so happy to be here to be opening our first portal in Tarot for the Soul for this particular year, 2022. To those who've been joining me on these weekly activations since April last year, thank you so much for consistently showing up for yourself, for learning how to come in your own alignment. To those who are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. This is our weekly practice of understanding how we can stay aligned in the mind, body, and spirit complex, aligned to the cycles of the moon. So, what is happening to the moon is very reflective of what's happening within us. And we use the moon as a marker to help us carve out some time in our week and stay connected with the guidance. Inner alignment is a moment to moment dance. It's not a one time activity that you've done it and now it's over and it's going to stay consistent forever. The principle of energy is that energy moves. So, energy is going to keep moving all the time. So, how can we really find that balance and keep coming back into alignment every single moment when things around us are changing, when we are also changing, our energy is changing? So, it's a very fine dance, a very graceful dance of being able to keep coming back to a balance time and again. And what the tarot does is tarot serves as a reminder throughout the week of the energetic prototypes that we are currently going through so that we can use that as an anchor and keep coming back to that center of our soul, the center of the spirit, the guidance which is coming from the spirit, and go through the week more holistically. When we are really rounded and holistic in our approach, we are more available to ourselves, we are more available to situations, we are more available to tune in and work with others in our surroundings. So, let's see what we have to work with in the first week of January 2022. The new moon in Capricorn, a momentous time to actually bring into fruition everything that we've been intending to. So, Spirit, please show us this first week of Capricorn, the new moon. What are the archetypes that we can mindfully work with? Please show us. Take a deep breath and just simply let go of whatever it is that you must have been holding in your energetic systems thus far. So, what we are seeing is we've got two major arcanum cards for this week, meaning that yes, indeed, this is a very momentous time and also a little heavy in terms of what collectively we are all processing. We are seeing that a lot of things that we created in the past for ourselves, those are the things that the past few months have shown us, especially the last 2 weeks of December, that those are the things that possibly don't really align with us anymore. We've shifted energetically as human beings. And when we've individually shifted, things that we created from a place of previous consciousness don't necessarily align with the new energetic core of who we are and how we are now progressing forward. Thus, those sort of structures which have been built on any foundation other than unconditional love, are the structures which are now collapsing. So, even our own identities, if we've held on to some bits and we've created those aspects about our behavior, our being, our personality, which were not stemming from unconditional love, those are the aspects that we are slowly moving away from. If we are a little cognizant, we would be able to reflect back upon certain relationships, some friendships, or rather our own relationship with ourselves, that we realize that we are not so much in tune with as we were earlier. So, the question being that if these things are now collapsing down, that you could have really built, but you built with love and attachment, can you now choose this as a soul lesson to really keep building from a place of unconditional love and without attachment? And I'm also being shown that some people in the collective are choosing to not be really cognizant of the structures that are collapsing around them. Structures that are really crumbling down, that do not really serve the purpose. But as a leader, as a self leader, it's important that we take charge of our life, and especially in matters where you are supposedly an authoritative figure, or you are the decision maker, or you are the one who has been sort of the anchor who's running the show. Especially in all such situations, this is a gentle reminder for you to take cognizance, to take a rain check of the ground level realities, and then see how you can really review and then reset and then choose to lead more consciously. Because if you have to really shine, if you have to move in the direction of success, it's also going to be important for you to understand what you've left behind, and more importantly, why you have left behind. Because if we do not pay cognizance to those lessons, those are the same energy prototypes which are going to show up again in another skin, in another time, in another situation. So it is on to us to take the charge of our consciousness and use those very situations as breakthroughs. Use them as something that we are really learning about ourselves, how we really want to create our life. And why is this really happening? This is happening for us to actually reclaim our own power, the power of our heart, the leadership potential that is available for us. So we have to keep finding what is our own personal truth at all points in time. And if we can really anchor in that truth, if we can ground ourselves in truth and then we create from that place, we are going to be more successful, more victorious. And those are the things that are going to stay for us for all the times to come. So, this being the first week of January 2022, this is a great time for us to see what is our anchor. Are we anchoring ourselves in our own personal truth very consciously, very intentionally, or are we just simply going through the motions of life because of previous routines, previous behavioral patterns, previous influences that have put us on an autopilot mode? So, this is the time to simply let go all of that, change our behavior, change our approach, and see how we can really take charge of our life, and then very slowly, with wisdom, with compassionate wisdom, we move on to building a life that is super abundant, which is always aligned to the principles of unconditional love, not operating from the lower aspects of our psyche or the ego mind that bring in attachment for that matter. This is a very beautiful piece of guidance, especially now that we are on this momentous start in certain sense, and it'll be nice if you can take some time to reflect and journal on what this guidance brought up for you, how you can choose to find your center in a truth that seems more aligned to yourself. I'm wishing all of us a great rest of the week, and I'll see you in the next portal. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with the collective. Lord of blessings. Namaste.